In our PSIR 1B series on Indian government and politics, today we will be carrying forward the constitution topic. Our today's area of concern will be the internal influences in the making of the constitution. When we talk about the internal influences, there are various aspects which we can see have deeply influenced the Indian constitution, starting with Indian national movement, social religious reforms, Ambedkar's ideas, Nehru's ideas, Gandhi's ideas, and apart from these, there were multiple personalities and multiple reforms that were taking place at that time. So these are the primary ones. You can also write if you can recollect anything else from your modern history syllabus. But these are the ones that can be asked in a special focus. So when we talk about Indian national movement, there was a long drawn mass mobilization happening for the freedom struggle. So there was sense of unity, and then we also saw participatory politics. Participatory politics can be seen in INC sessions. There was a large amount of public that was associated with INC sessions. Praja mandals were formed to reach to the masses. Kisan sabhas were held because majority of Indians were from the agrarian sector at that time. So Kisan sabhas had big role. Other than that, institutionalization of INC happened. Institutionalization of INC, which paved the way for institutional politics in India. Okay, so apart from this, we can also see because of Indian national movement, there was a sense of constitutional methods as primary tool to participate in public sphere. This was developing. Apart from this, we can also see that there were multiple attempts made by Indians to frame our own constitution. For example, there was a Nehru report, but before Nehru report, there was Swaraj bill by Tilak. Then Commonwealth of India bill by Sapru, TB Sapru. And Nehru report. So these efforts were being made. Also, we can see there were development of nationalist ideas. What we mean by nationalist ideas? Nationalist ideas, that is Swaraj. Then importance of fundamental rights, especially freedom of speech and expression in Rowlatt Satyagraha and later Gandhian methods. Freedom of speech and expression was put at the center stage. Then universal adult franchise was important dimension of nationalism, nationalist ideas of the time, because as one identity of Indians, we were contesting the concept of separate electorate. Now we will move to socio-religious reform movements. In socio-religious reform movements, we saw the ideas of caste-based hierarchies were challenged. And equality, gender justice. These ideas became the founding principles of constitution. Not just this, social religious reform movements also led to emergence of nationalism. Again, single citizenship arrived from that. So now we will come to individual personalities, that is Ambedkar, Nehru and Gandhi. Ambedkar, as we know, he was the chairman of drafting committee of constitution. We need to see what were his ideas. Let's write ideas first. Radical egalitarianism. What does it mean? Egalitarianism is belief that everyone is equal. Radical means there is no conditions on this equality. For example, liberals would put the condition of merit on equality. Like liberals have some notions that they will put merit as a qualifying criteria. Then socialists would put class based hierarchy, class based equality at prime. But Ambedkar believed in radical equality, means caste based equality, gender based equality, and all humans are equal basically. Then we have another idea of Ambedkar, that is constitutionalism. As a source of emancipation. What Dr. Ambedkar proposed was that there are sufficient safeguards included in the constitution itself which will lead to emancipation of the vulnerable sections of the society, that is the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. There were specific provisions provided, that is reservation was a condition that can be included, and in parliament there are specific articles, that is 338, that provides for reservation. So and in other public employment etc, there are 16.4 provides for condition that state can give reservation. So Dr. Ambedkar saw constitution as source of emancipation, and his main concern while framing this constitution was that he was to ensure radical egalitarian society. Now what influences of Ambedkar we can directly see in the constitution? That is clearly we can see in 14 to 18 equality, and specifically article 17 which talks about abolition of untouchability. He specifically mentioned it in the constitution, didn't leave it for future parliaments, because he was seeing constitutionalism as a source of emancipation. Now we come to the fundamental rights. He was deeply influenced by American Constitution also and their Bill of Rights. Then state socialism. By ensuring that Article 32 safeguards Indian citizens' fundamental rights. Without Article 32, all the rights that are enshrined in Part 3 wouldn't have any real effect. Later, we can also see that he was a proponent of checks and balances too, because of which he proposed independent judiciary. Democracy he saw as a way of life. He Although he made a democratic constitution, he believed that Indian society is deeply hierarchical, and to achieve social democracy, certain uh, certain articles are enshrined in the constitution to ensure that rights are saved. So this was about Ambedkar. Now we can see what were the ideas of Nehru. Moving to Nehru, we can quote his first statement in Constituent Assembly. He said, "The first task of this assembly, that is Constitutional Assembly, is to free India through new constitution, to feed the starving people, and to clothe the naked masses." To give every Indian the fullest opportunity to develop himself according to his capacity. So what we can see here, what we can see here is Nehru's idea of liberal constitutionalism. Liberal constitutionalism is adopting the constitutional methods to bring in social reforms. So by a constitution, he is talking about liberal constitutionalism and his idea of Fabian socialism, which is very clear in these lines: to feed the starving masses and to clothe the naked masses. So he was very much concerned with the socialist ideas of the time. Also, Nehru gave objective resolution, which was adopted as preamble later. Major principles were adopted as preamble, and preamble forms the basic structure of Indian constitution, enshrines the ideas of basic constitution of the basic structure of the constitution. Also, important idea of Nehru, which is included in fundamental duties, is scientific temper. Economic planning, and internationalism. Internationalism in Article 51. Scientific temper was explicitly included in fundamental duties, but Nehru was great proponent of it. And economic planning was the method India adopted in its early days. So, long-term plannings. So, these were the ideas of Nehru. Now coming to Gandhi's ideas. Now we know that Gandhi's ideas were of basically a village Swaraj and stateless society. So his ideas were not explicitly included in constitution, but his some ideas such as cooperatives and trusteeship model and cottage industry, they form they form the DPSPs. That is part 4. So these are the major internal influence in the making of constitution. We will later talk about the external influences in the making of the constitution. So this was it for this video. I hope you like it.